speaking of inspiration, we're honored to introduce someone who's walked this very path and continues to blaze new trails. Our keynote speaker today is none other than Jensen Barnes, the 2023 InventOR Grand Prize winner. After taking home the top prize, Jensen launched Love Hate Athletica, a bold and stylish pickleball and I'm assuming tennis is the next word on the script. Garrett, we were so good. Tennis apparel brand. Since then, she's continued to evolve as a founder and innovator, now applying that same entrepreneurial spirit in the tech world at Celsius, a cutting-edge data center cooling startup. From sportswear to server rooms, Jensen has built a career rooted in passion, creativity, and fearless problem solving. So please join me in welcoming the CEO and founder of Love Hate Athletica and associate sales representative at Celsius, Jensen Barnes.
Hi, everyone. It is an absolute honor to be your speaker this year. My name is Jensen Barnes. I do want to start with a little bit of honesty. So I may have been the winner in 2022, but that day in Medford, I almost didn't show up. Yeah. I sat out in front of my place in Eugene with a fully packed car and broke down in front of my dad and almost pulled out of the competition. Dramatic, I know. But I questioned my idea. I questioned whether I belonged in a room full of inventors who were aiming to change the world with their technology. And I almost let that doubt win. But I told myself, if I don't take a chance on myself, there is no chance anybody else is taking a chance on me either. And so I decided that I would show up anyway. And that one small act, that decision to show up, completely changed the following years of my life. I like to think of our lives as a coffee table book, full of snapshots, stories, and kind of defining moments that have absolutely shaped who we are. And not just the pretty highlight reels you see on Instagram, but the gritty, the imperfect, and the beautiful in-betweens. And this idea was actually inspired by a text my uncle sent me when I had texted him a picture of my not-so-glamorous fulfillment setup in the corner of my college bedroom. And he said, "Welcome to entrepreneurship, scrapbook material for the coffee table book in the lobby of your future empire." Some moments in your coffee table book are obvious. Graduations, the big wins, the we made it milestones. Others are more surprising. The night you stayed up till 2 a.m., the baby crying. The sale you made, okay, the call you almost didn't make, or the times you showed up when you weren't ready. For me, one of those moments was InventOR. So today, I want to share with you a few of my coffee table book moments in the hopes that it will inspire you to trust your own path when it's not at all what you pictured. To inspire you, honestly, and to help you to keep going, and to use these skills that you have learned today and throughout the last few months and bring them in with you for the rest of your life. Trust your path. All right, one of those first ever moments for me was my first ever tennis tournament at the age of 12. I look very different there, don't I? I had been playing for 4 months at the time, and I was so excited to enter this tournament. And I wanted to win so bad. And I didn't. I got 4th place. And I was really disappointed and honestly a little angry. And my dad just looked at me and he was like, "Come on." So he took me through the rest of the facility, and we walked outside, and he goes, "This is how this works. Okay, you're going to get your butt kicked for a while. You're going to go to practice, you're going to show up, back up, and maybe you'll beat them. But you're going to get better. And then one day you're going to jump from challenger tournaments to champ tournaments, and you're going to get your butt kicked again because you're starting at the bottom. And then you're going to jump age ranges, and you're going to go from 12 to 14s, and you're going to get your butt kicked again. But the important thing is that you keep going. You keep showing up. And I played a lot of tennis, okay? A lot. My days in the summer in high school consisted of me coaching from 8 to 12, and then playing from 1 to 7, and then tournaments on the weekends. My thoughts were practically consumed by the sport. And in 2018, I was fined a point in the middle of a match for wearing shorts that didn't have pockets. If you didn't know, you can get fined for fashion. So, I was so insistent on wearing these Lululemon shorts to play this match because I was like, I love how they look. And I was like, you look good, you play good, duh, okay? But I felt real dumb for losing a point in a competitive match for vanity. But I kind of left it at that. I was really frustrated with tennis apparel, but I didn't think I was going to start a business based on this idea. And it was just kind of something that my friends and I would complain about to each other during warm-ups. The next moment for me was when I played college tennis. But to be honest, that was always kind of part of the plan. And so that wasn't what changed things the most for me. It was actually when I transferred during COVID and was no longer playing tennis that I had a complete identity crisis. I mean, imagine spending 7 years of your life committed to this one goal, you achieve it, and then suddenly the trajectory has completely changed. That was me. So with no more tennis, I poured myself into my schoolwork. I joined a sorority. I got a job, and I even started competing in bodybuilding competitions to fill the time that competitive athletic used to fill. I still had this idea. Oh, she's gone. I still had this idea, and so I decided I was going to sketch kind of my first initial thoughts and then join as a founding member of the Oregon Entrepreneurship Group. And it was there that I learned about the Provost Innovation Challenge, where I planned on pitching Love Hate Athletica for the very first time. Can we? No? Are we good? Okay, well, we can look at penguins while I talk. That's okay. So, while working at a smoothie place, that job I mentioned before, I was cleaning blenders and making smoothies and cleaning juicers and toilets at times. And I was like, okay, I'm going to scrape together $700 to buy my first tech pack. And while I was cleaning that juicer for the 100th time, by the way, if you've never cleaned a juicer, it sucks. And I was like, okay, if I win this competition, I'm quitting my job and I'm going all in. I didn't win. I got third place, which was $5,000. But there was someone and something else in the audience. A woman who stood in the back with an InventOR ticket for $2,500. So no, I didn't win. But $7,500 for an idea felt pretty dang close, and so I texted my boss the next day anyway. Next came the InventOR Grand Finals, the InventOR Finals. And you kind of know how that day went for me, but I digress. I remember vividly pacing back and forth outside the auditorium, practicing my pitch for what felt like the 100th time. As I started my intro again, I hear my name get called to get mic'd up. Showtime. All right, so I walked up to the stage. The lights hit my face. I looked at the judges. And the slideshow was up and working, and the timer started. That day I had walked in with a dress that was not finished, with a name that people didn't really quite get yet, and a whole lot of adrenaline. Yeah, a heart. Oh, that's why. I had no background in manufacturing, but I had a problem I understood deeply and the drive to solve it. For 5 minutes, I pitched Love Hate Athletica, a fashionable and functional tennis and apparel brand for female athletes who valued both style and performance. My passion rang through as questions fired from the judges for 3 minutes after my 5-minute pitch, but I still didn't think it was enough. The award ceremony started, and as they started calling, so they go 4th place, not me. 3rd place, not me. 2nd place, guess what? Not me again. I remember just sitting back in the chair and trying to control my disappointment because I had told myself there was no chance I was winning this thing. And so they pull out this check the size of a twin mattress, turned backwards, and I'm just having this internal dialogue with my head down, my dad's behind me. And over the sound of heartbeats in my ears, I just hear, InventOR Grand Prize winner, Love Hate Athletica, Jensen Barnes. I immediately put my head in my hands and started crying. You can't tell, I'm a crier. And I just was like, what? Me? Are they sure? There was a technology for putting out fires. Okay. So then I had to go and walk in front of a bunch of people and claim the thing I almost didn't show up for. That day gave me something I so desperately needed, and it was validation that imperfect action beats perfect hesitation every time. Oftentimes, if you wait to feel ready, it is too late. Another thing, my first ever order was from an InventOR judge. So, there's that twin mattress check I was talking about. She's pretty. Anyway. The next couple years were gritty. I had to wear every hat like many of you are today. Founder, marketer, fulfillment team, accountant. It was me. If you were talking to customer service, guess what? You were talking to me. And it taught me so much. And the truth is, this process, it was and it is hard, and it's a story I'm still living. Today, I'm in the data center industry selling cutting-edge liquid cooling infrastructure for AI and HPC. Wild shift, I know. They don't seem super connected. And in other ways, it's exactly what these competitions and entrepreneurship and startup life taught me. Listening to people and what they need. Identifying a way forward when one isn't obvious. Working through no after no after no. All of these skills I learned while in startup mode. And yes, it's in a different arena with a different title, but with the same grit. And here's kind of what I really want you to hear. Your career may look entirely different than what you imagined or pictured. You might pivot, you might pause, you might feel like you're starting over when really you're rebuilding into something so much better. Today is one of those coffee table book moments for you too. And I hope you just take a moment, and I know it's been a long day, but just to recognize how far you've come, because it is so easy to get caught up in the rush of the next thing. What are you doing after graduation? What are you launching next? Do you have a job offer? It can get tiring, right? But sometimes the only way it feels like to survive entrepreneurship, the highs and lows, is through this kind of adrenaline and rush alone. However, when we do that, it is also so hard to recognize all the things you have done to get here. Like I said, the sale you made, the website you launched, the prototype you created, the degree you completed. At least for me, it felt so hard to recognize these things because it felt like any other option was a failure. But I hope today, as you've navigated so many months of pitching, iterating, and working on this, that you look back and see all the hard work you have done. You should be proud. Today is the culmination of a lot of hard work. And I know because I've done it. I've been exactly where you are. And there are a few things I want to point out that I think you can take with you. One thing is that you came out here and you put yourself in a position to be judged voluntarily. And not everyone can do that. You've identified a problem you care about, worked on solutions, and then did all of that while in school, clubs, and whatever else you do. Throughout this process, you have navigated so many parts of entrepreneurship that cannot be taught in a classroom. You've had to wear every hat, whether or not you're a solopreneur like myself, or if you're on a big team like Pour Up here. You've had to wear so many different hats and navigate so many things and challenges you probably never saw in your future. And this is why it's important. Your story will not be perfect, and it shouldn't be. Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, spent 5 full years working and building the business while also selling shoes out of the back of his car. Empires take time, and they almost get burned down to the ground time and time again. Sarah Blakely, when she founded Spanx, was selling fax machines door to door and was taking customer service calls from the bathtub. This road is messy. It's imperfect, and it can make you want to rip your hair out at times, but it is also soul enriching. And when you look back on today and you are building your own coffee table book, I hope you see all of the mistakes you've made, the triumphs, and the person that you have become. Right now, you are in the bathtub. This is the grind you will one day fondly look upon. And your peers in these competitions, keep them. They know what it's like because they're here with you. And those days when you feel stuck, you can talk to them, and the kinship and everything, it's profound. I know because I've used many of the people in these competitions myself. If you're in a season right now that feels uncertain, messy, or just plain not at all what you pictured or thought for your life, you're not doing it wrong. You are building the skills that will take you through the hard seasons. And it brings me back to where this started. I'm standing up here today because I showed up to a competition that I wasn't ready for. Something I thought I might bomb. To a business I wasn't qualified to run. To a job I certainly didn't see in my future, but I love. You don't have to know your whole path. You don't have to know your whole picture. You just have to say yes to the next opportunity. Yes to solving something that matters to you. Yes to showing up anyway. And yes to the gritty work that nobody sees. If you take nothing else from what I've said today at all, let it be this. Build and write a coffee table book that you will be proud of. And take the time every once in a while to look through it to honor the journey. Thank you.
Well, Jensen, thank you